Well, hi there, folks. Welcome back to Mossy Roots Farm. So it was very interesting. I was listening to a podcast here just a minute ago, and they said something very interesting. They said, all these old folks, and I say that term lightly, of course, all them folks want to farm forever, and they talked about how, if you're old enough, you farmed cultivating your rows until the 4th of July. You'd hop on your open station A or B or C or D or whatever John Deere letter you had at the time, and you'd go cultivate all summer. Got to cultivate in them rows, keep them weeds down. And then you get into something nice and new. Like here, I could show you this right here. This old Massey girl right here. She had a cab. Well, this one didn't have air conditioning, but there was a cab, there was air conditioning. Sorry about moving the camera around. I had it in a good spot and then I didn't. Then they go to that, and then why would they want to quit farming? But what's real funny? Them same old guys are out there saying these darn young kids, they just don't want to farm anymore. We don't want to farm, we don't have opportunity to farm. Here's a great prime example for you. There was some acreage a mile down the road from me. 20 acres, 25, 30, depends on how much they actually sold. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't really know. It got sold. I knew the owner. I said, the owner, I wanted the land. I said, let me know your price. We'll work something out. I said, I'd even do a deal with you where I made payments so there wasn't as much taxes to claim on it, make it real helpful for the feller. Then I find out a month later he sold it outright to some farmer down the road. You guys say that this is what you want. You want young guys like me to get in farming so farming don't die, but yet you guys go out and you buy more land. Well, I needed it for my farm. What about them young guys? And then I'm sure you're going to say, oh, well, look at this young guy just complaining the whole time about not having an opportunity. Back in my day. Here, hang on, let me get my... These aren't old man glasses, but back in my day... Yeah, back in your day, you had tons of opportunity because there'd be old timers that go out of business because they still wanted to use a horse plow. They didn't want to get with the times, get a John Deere, get a Massey, whatever the tractor was back in the day. And that's why they went out of business. They couldn't afford it. So you got all these reasons why you aren't farming anymore. They aren't farming anymore, and yet you complain the new kids aren't coming to the party. You're complaining guys my age don't want to farm. I want to farm. Give me 1,000 acres today, right now, and I'll be the best farmer you've ever seen. Young kids just want everything handed to them today. No, I don't want you to hand it to me. I want you to quit holding on to it and let me do it. If you want young kids to farm these days, you got to be the ones to hand it over. I can't just go out and buy land that's not for sale. I also can't afford $13,000 per acre for farmland, especially because I don't crop. If I crop land, maybe, if I combined, if I did wheat, corn, soybean, whatever, I could maybe afford that. I do cows. Can't afford $13,000. You know how many cows I'd have to sell to make that even? I get about $1,500 a head if I sell it as hanging weight. So that's going to give me 8 or 9 cows I got to sell. That could be 2-3 years just to pay for 1 acre, let alone a 10-acre lot. That's only $130,000 if it's 10 acres. Yeah, but that's $130,000 that could be a house. Well, in today's market, it'd be like a shack, but that could be a house. That could be a tractor. That could be a shed that I need to store my tractor, or my house, depending. But that's what I mean. The reason young guys aren't in farming is opportunity. And also the simple fact that you guys think that you know it all, I'm talking the old guys here, and that some young kid with new ideas coming in is just going to ruin the whole world, like me and my regenerative grazing. I've heard people before say, why would you want to do that? Why are you doing that? You're not going to do anything with that. You're not going to get anywhere with that. Not adding fertilizer to a hay field. You're never going to get anywhere with that. But yet there's people that do it all the time. I just had a recent grazing video come out where I literally showed you could graze a hay field, add poop from your cow, which is fertilizer, and be benefited. But it's all about these old timers, right? And I don't mean it's all about these old timers and the simple fact that we should just ignore anything and everything they've ever said because they're important. They add value. But I need a mentor. Where's the people that are going to help me with this stuff? Where's the people that are going to give me advice for this stuff? And also in previous videos, I showed it can't be a mentor that's got 1,000,000 acres. It's got to be someone similar. You know, I can aspire to be like them, but their advice isn't necessarily going to help me. You know, I showed in a bale grazing video. It works great if you got a lot of land. You know, I don't have a lot of land. What am I going to do? So that's what I mean is like, it's just real funny. I find it real funny that you got these old timers out there crying and whining that these young kids don't want to work, they don't want to farm, they don't want to get into it. But they're the same ones not letting a young timer farm. They're the same ones putting them young kids down. They're the same ones telling them young kids they're never going to make it. So what are they going to do? Half the young kids probably quit. If you're not like me, and you get some old guy that says, hey, you can't do this, and you listen to them, and they were wrong, that could be the difference between making and breaking your entire farming career. That's why I don't listen to them. I respect them. I accept their help. I accept their knowledge. But I translate that into something usable for me, my farm, and my acreage. Because it's very possible that that help could be what saves my farm. I will never deny that. But I can also say it could be that exact same help that destroys my farm. You guys will have to decide. Is it the old folks that are keeping the young kids out, or is it the young kids that just don't seem to want to work anymore? You know, there's an awful lot of people coming into agriculture, and we should welcome them. First of all, competition makes us better, it makes the opponent better. You know, helps us do better for our animals, for our ground, and for our market. You know, and ultimately it helps the consumer too. You know, I know people that are getting $7 a pound for their Irish Dexters for ground beef, and I'm only charging $4.50. You know, I could be charging $7. I could be doing that, but that's ridiculous. You're not hitting an average person. You're not hitting the normal people. You're hitting the high-end folks that want to pay for a grass-fed steak. Anyways, guys, sorry to get all down and depressing on you. Hope you liked my old man impression. See you guys later. Or not.